So hello from Tongue on the Post Cafe Concerts. I'm here at Inspire Cafe with J.R. Lewis and his band, the Lonesome Doves. J.R., can you introduce yourself and the band, please?
Yep, J.R. Lewis here from Medicine Hat, Alberta. We got Blake Berglund plays the keys. From Kennedy, Saskatchewan, Steve Lytle, originally from Medicine Hat, right, buddy? Yeah. On the drums, and Bryce Lewis from Kyle, Saskatchewan on the lead guitar.
Good stuff. And how long have you guys been playing together?
Probably about 2 years, boys? We've been, we all kind of switch instruments and play in Blake's band. I play bass in that band, and we switch it up for when it's time to play my music. So we've been playing together for a while.
I'll bet there's a story about how you met up.
Yeah, a little. Each one of us has a own little story. I worked at a golf course in town here with Blake. I met him many a year ago. Bryce, actually, we were strapped for a guitarist for a gig, and we put a tweet out. Can anybody help us out? And he responded, and he's been in the band ever since. And Steve, where did you come from, buddy?
We met up in Calgary at the Ironwood.
That's right.
And Blake hired me on.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And you were in the band.
Yeah.
And that was the first time we met.
Here you go.
And that's the way to get started. So what's the process? Do you manage to get together and practice regularly, or is it like, oh my gosh, we got a gig, let's get ready for it tonight?
Yeah, it's a little bit of both, a little more of the latter. I mean, we all live in different cities, so we get together and, we practice as much as we can and get songs worked up and do what we can on our own time and meet up when it's time to gig, but we gig quite a bit, so we're together a lot.
Any way you see, honestly, but I won't say things I know colors me.
And tell me where you hang out when you're not on stage making music.
Oh,
You mentioned an office, didn't you?
Yeah, I have an office on 4th Street where I do web design and audio recording, stuff like that. And I'm usually there or in my apartment, just waiting for the next gig. So, what about you guys?
I'm usually at my farm in Saskatchewan when I'm not on the road.
I'm a student right now at the University of Regina.
And I have a house in Swift Current.
And that would be more than enough to keep you busy full-time, I'm guessing. Okay, JR, you're the songwriter of the crew.
Yeah, that's right.
Tell me, like, you have played a whole bunch of new songs for us here.
Yeah.
How does it happen for you?
I usually will just get an idea and I'll sort of hash it out in the good old office chair looking out the window, and usually I write a song in like a half an hour, and if it sort of just isn't working out, I'll take off and just let it be. But usually they come pretty quick, and I'll take inspiration from all around She's Awakened Dreams about a very beautiful barista. We've got brandy drinking guys that are ornery and all sorts of characters that seem to come cross paths with me. So
Is it mostly people that get you started?
yeah, people or ideas like New York City Love Song's a new song just about how I really like New York, and people sing about love all the time, so I figured the two would go together. Yeah, people, places, any sort of idea I'm trying to work out.
You've done some recording.
Yeah, definitely. I produced my personal records, and I did an EP for a local guy, Derek Gavey, who will be playing this week. Check the schedule, check him out. Good songwriter. Also produced a EP for Iron Bison, a Regina rock band. Buddy Travis Rennebaum, plug. And yeah, I'm just constantly into the engineering and sound side of things. So.
Yeah, that's interesting. Has your work sort of evolved over, like you've been doing this for a couple of years, and is your music different now?
Yeah, it definitely, it changes with just sort of doing the same thing kind of gets stagnant, so you want to keep pushing yourself, and whereas before I maybe wrote a little more metaphorically or things like that, maybe a little more humor, now I'm sort of doing a little more stuff from the heart, a little more honest songwriting, and when I tire of that, we'll switch it up and maybe get into some jazz or something. I don't know, we'll see.
That sounds totally cool.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So finally, tell me about how you got hooked up with Tongue on the Post.
I met Dawn Stock, and I met some of the other crew from the Medicine Hat Folk Club, and I think it was down here at Inspire, actually. It was a singer-songwriter night, and I played a few songs, and they asked me if I wanted to be involved last year in the Cafe Concert Series, and I happily obliged, and they asked me back for this year, and I thought I'd bring my buddies, and it's been a good time.
It is a good time, and it's sort of cool to, instead of, saying, well, we're going to be in a certain place at a certain time, why don't you come out here to hear us? It's sort of cool to be actually going to places where people are anyway.
Yeah.
And saying, hey, here's some music.
Yeah.
Add something onto your lunch or your noon hour or something.
That's right, and it's a really good event for getting exposure to all the great local artists we have in town, and it's just a really good event overall. So, thanks to the Medicine Hat Folk Club and Tongue on the Post, and all the great venues that facilitate this.
Yeah, and thank you for coming and playing for us and
You bet.
sharing a little bit about your music. J.R. Lewis and the Lonesome Doves.